Hey everyone, and welcome to our lovely Ballad Fundraiser. Thank you everyone for coming on out and helping support this fantastic cause and listening to some amazing shows. So first, we're just going to go around and introduce ourselves before I kick this off and kind of give a rundown of everything that's going on before we hop into this weird D&D monster hunting tale. So starting off, I am Lucas. I will be the GM today. My pronouns are he, him. Go to Ian.
Hi everybody, my pronouns are he, they. My name is Ian, and I will be playing Himbonius the Mighty, whose pronouns are he, him. He is a fighter wizard. Mostly wizard. Not good at it.
Jess.
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing the sorceress Ilnancitwin, but she goes by Nancy, and her pronouns are she, her.
Eve.
Hi, I'm Eve, and I will be playing the Kobold Gunslinger, Hope Chubbins, and both of our pronouns are she, her.
And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'll be playing Irvin the Immortal, the human fighter, and we're both here.
So, before we get started in all this, I just want to say thank you all once again for coming here out to this fundraiser. We are doing this fundraiser for the Chew Project. They are an organization that provides frontline supports to 2S LGBTQ+ youth and emerging adults, helping with issues like homelessness, addiction crisis, providing counseling, and as well as even providing basic needs like showering, food, all sorts of things that people just need in their day-to-day life. And we wanted to do this fundraiser not only to help a good cause, but also because it spoke to both me and my spouse, Michelle. There is, of course, a lot of stuff, especially going on lately in Canada with the very difficult news that's been coming out around the residential schools and the unmarked graves. And having a organization that you can go to that has cultural counseling and connections for Indigenous youth when it's a very difficult thing. I myself am Métis. I didn't really have a whole lot of that. It was very difficult to get in connection with anything of my culture or anything like that. It was very much, it almost felt like a barrier because of there's a lot of racism that is out there that stops people from connecting to that. So having an organization that provides a service like this that can help people is such a big deal, especially now more than ever. So very happy to support the Chew Project and really happy to jump into this, and thank you all for coming by and helping out with this cause. I will give a quick rundown because the donation is a little bit different than the usual. So we have a donation page. If you go to balladofthesevendicecom/donate, that will take you to our donation page. We could not integrate a third party to help with the donation. So what there is there's a yellow donate button that'll open up a new page. You can fill out their donation form. And then just on the page that we have linked, you can click what you want to do. If you want to give inspiration points, you can add it to like a team pool that the team can pull from and help each other. You can give a weird item to the team. You can cause drama. And like each thing is a different tier of donations. So the first one's 5 for giving inspiration, 10 is give an item, 20 is cause drama, which makes like something bad get worse in the story for our team. 50 is a give an epic item like a tank, a mech, a car, something really extreme, a spaceship. And now this is wild, I've seen it happen, but there's 100 that would just send our team right to space, because that is the end goal of all Dungeons and Dragons sessions, is to try to get as many of your players into space to fight things. Real
quick, we're going to space.
We have to. It's destiny, but you can make it
No,
happen.
I mean, we are going to space.
Right now?
Yes, we're going to space.
Are we starting in space? Oh my god. Okay, well, this game's about to start way differently. But so that is the thing you could do there. You can go there, and so now I'm gonna have to spin this, taking us to space. So right now I have somebody working on the fundraiser bar, so that'll update momentarily. All right, so let's go around quickly and introduce our characters, because we have quite the merry band here. So just describe like what your character looks like, what they're using, if you have any really weird magic items that might stand out, just things like that. And let's just go in the same order before.
Alright, Himbonius the Mighty is a fighter 3 wizard 5, but for my purposes, Himbonius is a himbo wizard. That he casts spells sort of by flexing, and his spellbook has been converted into like these like track pants that he uses for working out. He does not wear a shirt. He's like Goku after Goku rips off like the top half. And he's got these 2 big stone weights that are basically a ring of jumping. So he's just gonna be like, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z, he's gonna be doing that with like spells and punching. And if he dies super hard, that's par for the course, because Goku dies all the time.
We do have ghost rules, because there's definitely going to be some death. Jess.
Yes, like I said, I'm playing a sorceress. She is an elf of Terra. Her name is Nancy, but no one can pronounce that, so she goes by Nancy. She's a top-tier sorceress, and her family totally didn't get their magic from a gross swamp hag, that's for sure. And she totally doesn't dress ridiculously fancy to overcompensate for how totally gross all of her gifted magic is. But she will be swanning about in a rococo gown this entire time. And she has a familiar that is a big bullfrog, and his name is Good Sir Higginbotham. And yes, he is wearing a tiny top hat.
Awesome. Eve.
Hope Chubbins is a kobold. Her scales are a light maroon. And she wears a big ol' heavy peacoat with a bunch of metal plates sewn into it, so it's kind of heavy. Always has the collar popped. She also has a top hat. And the only visible weapon on her is a rather large revolver slung at her hip, down low for a quick draw. And then back behind her is her little automaton friend named the Pea Shooter, which looks like a random amalgamation of pipes, hinges, and wood.
Awesome. So, this team, known as the Notable Individuals, you have conquered many beasts in the past, and naturally, everyone calls on you to deal with some weird creature that's popped out. Maybe you've had to deal with a sand golem that was completely destroying a super sweet beach party, or maybe you had to deal with a bunch of birds that were just they were all sitting on like wires and around people's houses, and it scared an entire small town and was attacking people. You know, just things like that happen all the time. So you have been called in because something ferocious has happened. You see that when you get this message, there is blood on the message, and it seems strange because this message is written from almost like a like play-by-play of how the person, like what they were thinking. Like, yeah, I was trying to write to you, notable individuals, and see how you were doing in this lovely day. I'm enjoying this delicious sugary breakfast cereal because I always think to myself that the donation that the cereals that we have are the best part of my day. And as they're writing this and they're rambling and they're talking about the sweet taste of their delicious breakfast cereal, and they go, "Oh no! A creature seems to have emerged from the cereal box, and it's staring at me now. I'm still penning this letter, and it stabbed me in the chest. My God, this creature is growing in size. It's consuming the many cereal boxes I have around me, and using my blood instead of milk. And you see now is where the blood has started to spill onto the piece of paper, and they go, "Oh, I fear this is the end for me. I must pen down my last thoughts. This creature, it's learned the most dangerous breakfast in the world. The taste of flesh of the living. Please, notable individuals, save our town." And then they give you a sweet GPS coordinates for this fantasy village. And so you've been on the way to go to this village. And this village is in what is known as the Foundry of Steel. Think of it kind of like how Fallout 3's landscape looked. Pretty rough. Not great. They decided, what would be awesome if we just abused the environment and took everything we could from it. I'm sure there'll be no future ramifications. And then there was. So they're living in that future. And so you're going to this small town, and it looked like it used to be pretty populated, but now you got this classic signs swinging. You have some people they're peeking out their windows and quickly closing blinds, almost like one of those Western towns where the baddies are coming in. And so that's just what you're noticing as you're walking into the town, the four of you. And you do know that this serial lover that you knew, known as Cereal Crisp, they had set up shop. They had a lovely little tavern where all the meals served were only the best breakfast cereals.
I do so hope Cereal Crisp as well. He always had Apple Jacks. You can't buy those anymore.
There was this horrible incident related to Apple Jacks. I just don't remember what it is. Hope, can you elucidate to me why Apple Jacks are banned?
Well, now, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with a cinnamon challenge, but instead of eating a spoonful of cinnamon, right? They would just take an entire bag of Apple Jacks and probably just all at once, bag and all.
Sounds horrible. I'm glad that I only eat steel cut oats in the morning to maintain my physique.
Oh, you know your fancy foods. I'm just curious to see what kind of cereals they've got on tap.
It is my cheat day, so this will be fine.
As you're waltzing through this frightened village, this small western village, you are coming over to this inn, and you see just these cardboard fronts of cereal boxes are just taped all to the outsides of it for decoration. The owner, Cereal Crisp, really thought that this is what's going to catch people. They're going to see this and they're going to say, "This is where I want to be." The place with all the cardboard taped on the outside. So stepping into this lovely establishment where the bowls are bolted to the ground, to the table because everyone kept stealing them. You are met with the lovely, refreshing smells of Applejack cereals, the banned cereal. And I want everyone to give me a perception check.
I got an 8. The smell is just so nostalgic and overwhelming.
That's fair.
Be a 14.
Got a 15.
I got a 7. I'm a little distracted because I found a new muscle I didn't know existed before.
All right, so Irvin the Immortal and Hope Chubbins, you are not distracted by the sweet sugary smells of the cereal as you hear the clicking of a creature, this as like something's clearly here and it's hunting you. And you look up at the ceiling, and there, crisp cereal is just plastered to the ceiling. Lucky Charms have been melted and sealing their wrists and their ankles to the top. And just for our dear listeners, when I hold up this little Elithid Funko Pop, it means I'm about to dip into some heavy body horror. It's a bit of a safety tool. So I'll give you 2 seconds if you want to pop your headphones out or something. When I bring it back down, that means that we're back in action.
Cereal Crisp, you cheeky bastard! What are you doing up there?
So looking up at Cereal Crisp, their chest starts to split open, their stomach starts splitting open, and they go, "No! My cereal!" As you watch, these claws start ripping open their rib cage and their abdomen, and out from this bloody viscera, this creature, and its face is like its body is all made out of these scales of little like those alphabets that are all over, and this creature just starts hissing as the blood is splattering down. And so this creature emerges out of Cereal Crisp, and he shouts, "My cereal!" as it looks down at all of you, ready to consume. And I need all of you to roll me initiative quick.
Oh, baby.
14.
First nat 20 of the game.
Oh, damn.
Hey.
Oh my
I got
god.
a 10.
Got a 22.
Nat 20's in the chat.
All right, so Irvin, what'd you get?
14.
14. Nancy?
10.
10. Hope.
22.
Himbonius.
25.
Damn.
All right,
Damn.
so we start off. Himbonius, your muscles, they detect danger and begin flexing as the blood begins to sprinkle down, ruining the scent of Apple Jacks.
I look over at the cereal monster. Has it finished like standing up and transforming itself?
It's emerging out of him. It's on the ceiling, so it's like you could feasibly. You're pretty big, so you could just feasibly jump up and like punch it in the face or something. As wizards do.
Because it hasn't finished transforming, and I need to have a fair fight. I'm gonna wait, and I'm not gonna attack it this turn. I look over at the cereal monster and go, "Oh my god! I've never fought a monster made of cereal before. This might be a new test of my strength. I will await you in the field of combat." And I just take like a little fighting stance, and I'm going to use, instead of fighting, I'm instead going to use one of my maneuvers. So as a bonus action, I'm going to spend a superiority dice. So it's going to be a D8, and it's going to be a rally. So I'm going to give one of my allies temporary HP.
Awesome.
Didn't go great. All I'm able to do is grant all of my allies 2 temporary HP, as all of them look at me waiting for me to punch something, and then I don't. And then as my full action, because that was kind of disappointing, as my full action, I guess, spellcasters couldn't be me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna cast Enlarge on myself. So I look over and I'm like, "We can do this. We can defeat the cereal monster, but we have to wait for it to get ready, you know?" Ah! And he just starts doing like the Dragon Ball Z scream thing, and he just like doubles in size.
And the energy, the yellow classic energy, does flow around you. You're not sure where it's coming from as you feel yourself grow, and now you're looking dead in the eyes of this creature. Your head is brushing the ceiling. You're a little hunched over a bit, and the massive Himbonius the Mighty is ready.
Yeah, so that's my turn.
Hope. So this creature is there. Himbonius is in the way.
That's fine. I'm an excellent shot, and I can treat things that have 3/4 cover as if they don't. That's fancy feats for you.
There you go.
But yeah, Hope has no qualms about shooting things before they're fully grown or emerged or actually ready to fight or even a threat. So, yeah, she just immediately lifts up her arms, and two small pistols on little what do you call those springy bits?
Thingamabobs?
Yeah, pop out of her arm and into her hands. And she's going to fire 2 rounds with those. So that would be a. I'm not used to this character. Yeah, that'll be a 22 for the
That's a hit.
first one, and a 19 for the second one.
Yep.
And so that'll be 2d8 for that one. And then she just tosses those pistols to the side and draws her big ass revolver for her second attack. And pumps it full of some justice. Although, does a 14 do it?
It does. You do hit my baby cereal monster.
Okay. So, let me roll up some damage real quick for you, because there's a lot.
Good.
That's 24. Wrong guy. Yeah, there'll be 36 damage altogether.
So you take out these guns and just start blasting, just like Danny DeVito, like you just start blasting. And these bullets are flying right around Himbonius, and Himbonius is not phased as just bits of this creature. Yeah, like one arm goes flying off, another. Like the serial creature just explodes everywhere. And you taste it, Himbonius, because your face is right near it, and the sugary sweetness, and a mix of irony blood. But you're like, Apple Jacks. And
These aren't legal.
For some reason, and it doesn't make any sense, Cereal Crisp is still alive on the ceiling. No! They're completely hollow inside. There's no more organs. It should be dead, but movie magic itself is keeping him alive. I'm sorry, dear friends. I flew too close to the sun.
You only made it to the ceiling.
I tasted sweetness. I tasted the crisp. But there was something else inside, and I didn't know. There was BHT. Normally used to preserve cereals, with just a small amount, allowing for maximum freshness when the package is opened. When too much is placed in there, the side effects are dire. The creatures emerge. They emerge out of us. I've become breakfast.
Well, that sounds like a damn shame. But luckily, it looks like we took care of your little problem there. If we got like a healing potion or something?
I have one, and I give it to good Sir Higginbotham, and I kind of launch him up, and he sticks to the ceiling, and he gives him the potion, and also gives him a little big kiss.
So you hurl this frog up, and this frog starts bouncing like, oh, right, here we are, good sir. I brought to you a nice, delicious healing potion. Let me just use my tongue here. And the frog brings the potion over, and it's difficult, you know, when someone's face is towards the ground, getting them to drink out of a glass container is it's a feat in itself. But this frog is up to the job. And just drops the glass container, and it shatters on the floor after finished. And, sir, is it Higginbottom?
Higginbotham.
Higginbotham looks over at everyone. I do believe this chap will be fine. It just needs a few days bed rest to get back those old organs. And just gives the person a lick, Cereal Crisp, and falls on down. And Cereal Crisp is there, still plastered by the Lucky Charms. You have to do it. You're the Notable Individuals. You have to go in You have to use my space portal in the back. I was normally going to save that, just easy access to cereal on the moon. But you have to use it. Something's there. Something's corrupting the cereal. I'm falling into a nap. Oh. And he starts napping.
No cereal, Crisp. Always with his ceiling naps.
It's really important to get like a quality sleep. So I feel like having sugary cereal right after bad sleep, it can lead to like body horror shenanigans.
Real quick, Peace here. Go grab my pistols. I did not see where I tossed those. Take that for me. Let's go check out this portal.
Okay, I'll grab them.
And you're
sometimes I'll forget that you even have a voice.
I didn't before this.
What? It's always surprising when like an unannounced update on something that I bought off the black market and then customized to my personal likings happens without warning.
I should probably change my size back to normal size.
It was in the terms of service. You didn't read them, you just clicked accept.
Oh yeah, everybody does that.
Hooray!
So, Irvin's looking kind of confused right now. He's stroking his chin. He's like, BHT, space portals. Little robot gets a voice all of a sudden. Sounds like that substance that Joe Bogan guy always talks about. BHT, right?
I wouldn't know. I'm actually really good about not buying into fads when it comes to my fitness.
So there is a door in the back, and it has a large sign, naturally made out of cardboard, that says, "Does not contain a space portal." It's probably just the kitchen then. I don't know. It could be a space portal.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not back here. Is it like a trapdoor or something? Like, look around. Like, start kicking the floor.
Investigate.
Yep. Oops, just stomping on the floor.
Opening cabinets.
A lot of cereal.
Yeah, you're like looking around. You're opening up cupboards. There's so much cereal everywhere. They're in those nice like plastic containers that help keep the freshness going. You do decide that eventually you open up the door that said it didn't have a space portal, and it turns out that the door, just like life itself, was one great lie. And you see in the back, there's a blanket that's been pulled down to the ground and this massive construction inside the back of this inn. You always wondered why the back of the inn was 30 feet taller than the rest of the inn itself, but you always just assumed that they did something back here to make cereal. But now you see, actually, it's this massive circular gate that has this energy like going around it, the steel construction. And there is what looks to be a rover off to the side, like a vehicle you can hop in and drive.
Looks like it's some sort of gate to the stars, like a space door.
This explains everything. How were the marshmallows always so fresh? He was keeping them in space. He was holding out on us.
Well, I don't know. I heard it's pretty warm up there.
Wait, does space have more gravity or less gravity? I need to know so I can adjust my training regimen accordingly.
Pretty sure it's more. Like, have you seen how big it is up there? Look at all that.
But it's fiddles with like two knobs on the like heavy like stone rings, and they just like seem to get heavier somehow. All right, I'm ready.
So what would you all like to do?
We should take the rover through what I assume is some kind of Fargate, which is very different from Stargate.
It goes really far. It sends you far. Yeah.
Everybody, Let's hop on into this jalopy.
So you
Obeying to you.
you hop into this rover, and this little voice it chimes on.
Hello. Thank you for driving the Nostradamus Corporation Space Rover. We have added a brand new feature. Inside this rover, we have captured a creature from the far realms that, at random intervals, will send an item your way through its digestive tract. Please enjoy these 2 complimentary items.
And this little compartment, like where it would normally be like the glove box, it opens up, and there's like these teeth that go all around the sides of the glove box, and then this item falls out, and it's this massive jar of colorless grease, and then it starts like bubbling up again and spits out, and it looks like a large, like a jetpack, though you're not certain if it's very reliable.
Well, it is very disturbing, and I don't particularly care for it. Does anybody want these?
I pick up the jar of presumably grease. I did not take identify as a spell.
They have labels. You're good.
Good. They have those good Nostradamus Corporation labels. Good.
Give it a sniff.
I do.
Maybe a little bit of a lick. Just lick it.
Yeah, you lick it, and it tastes like something you should have never licked. Definitely something that sat in the pan for many days at a college
why would
dorm.
you like that? It's gross.
And then like you gag. And so you're all in this rover getting ready to go through the Fargate. Not any connection to Stargate. And entering through, you hit the gas, you go flying, and this ramp suddenly appears in front of the portal to, maximize effectiveness. And as we have somebody that has activated drama for one of their donations, you hit this ramp, fly through it, and suddenly it's that classic like whoa as you start sailing, and you like all these colors are flashing by you. There's strange creatures that are like they like fly beside you for a second and they zip off back. Your faces are starting to like stretch. You look over at each other and like you hold out a hand and the hand goes for infinity, and everything is just getting real weird and wild as you watch yourselves. Like some of you are getting like mixed up, turned into like multiple beings, and then you come back into yourselves. You fly through the portal. Suddenly, bam, naturally, you are in space. You sail in, you look on one side of the moon. There are stars that go on forever, all the many planets in the multiverse. On the other side of the moon, an empty blackness known as the far realms, the void that surrounds known space. You fly through this portal, but whoa, somebody was naturally doing construction, because just because it's summertime over on the planet, people still use the same seasons and think they should do construction only in summer. So this whole area that should have been a super sweet landing for you to go through has been completely messed up with construction. And there's people standing off to the sides not doing the construction. And I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw. I really channeled a lot of Winnipeg in there.
Gonna be a 10 for me.
That'll be a 2. Or, excuse me, a 6.
Nice.
Mine's a 16.
Okay.
Alright, so mine is an 11, but I'm going to use an ability that I think I have that lets me add to a saving throw as a battle wizard.
Well, yeah, I
Ooh.
can't. I do have lucky. I could use lucky.
Oh
You
yeah, I
could if
got
you-
+4.
I'm gonna
I
do
can.
that.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my arcane deflection to add a +4 to my saving throw, so it's going to be a 15 instead.
All right.
Yeah, so That'll be a 17 for me.
Okay, so just Irvin the Immortal. The rest of you are still taking 7 damage, sorry. Irvin, you're taking 14. The vehicle flies through this portal. You see the construction. No, why? And you're going, you're like, well, maybe there's someone where we can land. Don't worry, I'll just use the steering wheel. It didn't work. You're still in the air. And there's nothing for it to turn with. You find yourselves coming down. You land awkwardly. The axle of the car with front two wheels comes backwards underneath the car, and sparks are going flying everywhere. Irvin the Immortal, the unkillable warrior, goes flying out of this rover, and gravity's a little bit lighter here, so you go a little bit further than intended, and you're like bouncing off the ground. The fall itself and the speed of the collision wasn't so bad. It's just the fact that you're hitting a lot of sharp rocks. The rest of you managed to stay in the craft, but you got whiplash as you're now like just this vehicle spinning, sparks flying everywhere, the construction workers screaming and running away as you find yourselves on the moon. You see in the distance there's a large dome, and with the neon lights that say Cereal Factory.
Honestly, I feel fine after that. You know, it's almost like I got something like evasion or something like that.
Oh, I just flexed a very specific group of muscles in order to push all the damage into like just one rib, and then I step forward and you hear a crunch, 2 ribs.
You hear this voice off in the distance. Oh, it's a pretty standard landing, I'd say.
I just unclick my seatbelt and get out of the car.
A bruise starting to form where the seatbelt was.
You know, I would say that if I were to devise in some sort of space vehicle, I would consider like some sort of canopy over it. Well, I mean, the whole convertible design is supposedly getting real popular these days.
Cereal Chris never thinks anything through. You know this. He started a cereal business, for God's sake.
Personally, I like the cereal business.
Of course, we all love it, but it was mad to start one.
You feel a rumbling beneath your feet as the moons, the rocks are trembling, and you watch as a crack is forming and starting to go towards Cereal Factory.
All right. Who broke the planet already? We just got here. Imbonius, was that you?
You turn, and Imbonius is like fiddling with the stone rings. Like, sorry, I was adjusting to low gravity, and they're even heavier somehow. All right, now I'm ready, and I tap them closed, and those stone rings are rings of jumping, so I can now jump real far, just really, really far. And because of moon gravity, I can jump even further. It's going to be great. But I did not break the earth this time. I was not channeling all of my fight energy into punches like I normally am.
All right, I'll take your word for it, but you better not be lying to me.
I don't know if I can.
Last time you lied to me, we had to ground you.
I know, it was really bad.
I don't want to do that again. It felt real bad.
I couldn't get out of that pit.
And everything.
I like to imagine they're having this conversation as we're running, like to reach or like space bouncing towards the cereal factory.
It's like real fear. And Bonus is like, I don't want to go back in the pit.
You catch up to Irvin, who's also space bounding.
Boy, what took you all so long? I'm the heavy, slow one here.
Well, yeah, we wanted to give you a head start.
All right, that's fair enough.
Makes you feel better. Really boosts the confidence when you win in the race.
So you're all racing. You're bounding along. You're watching the Earth crack towards the cereal factory. Naturally, the moon's only cereal factory. You are making your way. You're watching workers scream and run from there. Workers of all sorts. You have like strange alien workers. There's like a beholder smashes out of a window and sails away. A couple of illithid are running and doing like the really classic like 30s alien movie like kind of thing where they're running. Like you got it all. And you're racing, jumping, bounding over these moon rocks. The road has been put into complete construction, and you finally make it to the cereal factory. The doors are open because the employees left them open. They shouldn't. That's a security hazard, but they didn't care. So they open up. These doors are opening. You're looking in there, and the office is in chaos. There's like the people like threw books in the ground. Computers are smashed. I'm pretty sure none of you have really dealt with computers because you're from a fantasy world. You can hear the sounds of machinery humming in the background. Some desks have been tipped over just because, like, it's like you hear the fire alarm. You just start trashing your office. It's kind of like that happened.
Wow, what a mess. Can't believe they ever got any cereal made in here. Look at this. This is how you get ants.
So, besides all of the technology that's awry, is there anything else in here?
There are doorways that lead further into the facility. You see there are stairs like going up to a second floor. You see that like people are like rushing past you. Some people who are wearing like it looks like they have more like maintenance worker clothing. Some people wearing fancy space office clothing, which is all like normal office clothing, but it's all like silvers and golds.
Hey, you there running? Watch your step, all right? There's a bunch of crap all over the floor.
Yeah, I threw it.
Why would you throw it and then run back into the building and then run back out where you're going to trip over it?
Because I want to show everyone that I'm not afraid. I want people to say, wow, that guy's badass.
Wow. That guy's a badass.
Worked. Nailed it. So you all jumping into the danger as well?
Yeah, of course.
Is that massive, strange worm-like creature behind you your friend?
Yeah, I can't say I know any strange worm-like creatures.
Glancing behind you, there's a massive, probably like it's about 10 feet
tall.
tall.
Behind her.
But it's just like looking at you, and it has the same mouth shaped like a glove box. It seems the creature is broken out and now is just following you from the vehicle. Wow, that seems like a convenient plot device just to allow those items to keep flowing. Interesting.
Hey, wait a minute. Did anybody grab that jetpack?
I'm gonna say I grabbed it, but I'm not gonna use it the way you expect. And then I tap my nose.
Oh, I see. Well, strap to your foot and spin in circles.
It's gonna make my kicks so fast.
Wow, that's badass.
Yeah,
I flex.
They're bad. I like this guy.
So, are you the people going in there to investigate BHT?
Of course we are. Can't you see we're gold level adventurers?
You're gonna die. BHT's nothing to mess around with. Just because it's used in small amounts to preserve freshness in cereal and other foods doesn't mean it's something that you can just jump in and swing a sword at.
Wait, that's why I got the gun.
Well, I can assure you we are very prepared, and I rub my hands together, and because I'm a hag sorceress, I have these like illusion powers, but I rub my hands together and they glow green, but I just use it to give the Nostradamus worm a top hat as well. Poof.
That seems legit.
Inches.
Alright, well, I'm gonna keep running because I already did my badass thing. Badass quota met for the day.
Right, well, I appreciate it. It's been terribly badass to meet you.
So they just like look at you and they do the nod, and then they just bolt past all you top hat wearing people. As you're now standing in like this trashed office space, there's doors leading to the back. There's stairs going to an upper floor.
Yeah, that was a classy fella.
Should we sweep the upper floor first or the back of the building?
Oh, I didn't bring a broom.
I slap
I
you.
wasn't planning on doing any sweeping
That's not a
today.
slap in fiction, folks. That's a slap in real life because I deserve it.
All right, so what would you like to do?
Well, I say that we put it up to a vote. This is an equal opportunity group. We operate in a democracy. So I say we go upstairs. Anybody who agrees, say aye.
Hi.
Oh,
I was really
Alright,
hoping it would be a
alright.
2-2.
This one we need to talk about.
I miss Tugboat.
Tugboat is the best. They always break our ties.
Would just
Very
like
useful.
say a tugboat.
So you start making your way upstairs in this place. You're stepping over like a printer's been thrown in the stairwell for whatever reason. Just someone, I guess, it's probably that badass individual. So
Bonius, throw that. Get it out of the way.
I pick up the printer and I swing it, but I flex my muscles in such a way that I cast catapult.
it just smashes against
and
the wall.
The wall in front of the printer takes 14 points of damage.
It goes through the wall, and there was a person going, you know, Tom, this whole thing, the whole being afraid of earthquakes and stuff, nothing can actually happen. This just printer comes through and just cleaves the top half of this person off. And the person's like, oh my god, it was the earthquake! And they just run out of the building.
Why did you find shooting? How did you know he was a villain?
You know, one of my muscles can sense villainy, and I could tell.
Hey, Bonius, you are truly the wisest of us all.
I'm morally correct at all times.
That was a middle.
Onward to the stairs.
That was a middle manager. Of course, he was a villain.
That's true. He held back at least 3 people on promotions, but kept telling them that they were going to get them.
There is no arguing with the righteousness of pure muscle.
It's just fact. You get up to the second floor, and naturally someone else has caused... there are a few dramas on the way, so somebody has caused drama. You look and see that this floor is filled with middle management zombies. And they were like this before. Like, before any of this even happened, they were already like this. You hear, like, they start lurching towards all of you, going like, no promotions, unpaid overtime, the company is your family, as they're lurching towards all of you. And we're going to enter a horde battle. So, horde battle, what this means, each one of these creatures has 5 hit points. So when you roll your attack and you do like 25 points of damage, you killed 5. Just go ham. The rule of cool is 100% in effect. There are a few more cost drums on the way, so get ready. All right, let's just do a real quick initiative again.
I got a 9.
Okay.
11.
11.
That's an 8 for me.
8.
Yeah, 10.
10. All right. 8, 9, 10, 11. So, we start off with Himbonius. These middle management zombies lurching towards you. Their ties slightly off. One of them lurches and moans, I have a cabin. I'm going there on the weekend. As it lurches forward, knowing full well that some of its employees cannot pay their rent.
I take steps forwards and become surrounded by the horde, and I'm going to flex all of my muscles in tandem, and my whole body locks up, and then I release, and the release of all those muscle groups at the same time casts the spell Earth Tremor.
Nice.
Which I'm gonna upcast at a higher level. So instead of the regular, it's gonna be 2d6.
Now,
So
if if I was picturing Earth Tremor, personally, I picture like the pecs doing that back and forth motion.
The Terry Crews, like
Yeah, absolutely. And it causes the literal earth to shake. So that one middle manager who was talking about earthquakes was correct. Yeah, so I cast Earth Tremor and it deals 8 points of damage in a 10-foot radius around me.
So you start doing this, and it's affecting the ground too. So portions of the ground are falling, and these middle management zombies are falling through the holes. And one of them, like, it lurches towards you, and then like it's about to swipe at your face, and your pecs bounce really quick and clap together, causing this like tremor going forward. And the middle management zombie's head just explodes and falls back. But there's still many more that are coming. So we go to Hope.
Yeah. Well, Hope's got a thing that she's good at, and that's guns. She's really good with guns, so she's going to just point at like a crowd of them and go, "All right, hits off to you." And she flicks up her hat and it starts spinning in the air, and then just as it's coming down in front of her, she thrusts her hand forward into it, and a little latch on the top of it opens, and the top of the hat flips up, and there's a double barrel shotgun in there. And she's gonna fire into the horde. Both barrels, baby.
Do it up.
So that would be a 16.
That hits.
And an 18.
That hits. Roll that damage.
And each of those shots is 2d8. Plus 8. Because, yeah, this gunslinger class that I got is broken as shit.
That's okay. We just had a wizard clap their pecs together and explode someone's head, so.
16 on the first shot.
So you start firing these guns, this shotgun, and you just blast away 3 of these middle management zombies. They just splat into the wall and fall down into the ground.
And 17 on the second barrel.
And another 3 go. And as you're shooting these ones, they're like, "Oh, we unfortunately don't have it in our budget." And they fly backwards, knowing full well they have a budget for bonuses, but not a budget for raises. And they just go sailing over a railing down, splatting onto the ground. We go to Nancy.
I step up and I'm in my big floofy Rococo dress, and I have Good Sir Higginbotham on my shoulder, and I say, "Glasses up," and he and I pull up basically opera glasses, but they're sunglasses, to cover our eyes, and I'm going to cast a Vitrolic Sphere. So basically a giant green light appears right in the middle of the zombies, and it's a 20-foot explosion. And can the zombies make dex saves?
Not well.
It's a DC 16.
Well, I don't believe my 4 will complete this task, so roll that damage.
Okay, that is going to be so much. That is 5, 12, 15. That is 31 damage.
So you blast this out, and zombies are just popping. Like it's like bags of popcorn, just pop, pop, pop. As we're watching middle management just
Pop.
go down. And for some reason, while all this is happening, we see in a distant planet, an employee is looking over, and they click refresh to see where the stocks are going, and everything's going up. And we go back to Irvin the Immortal.
All right, so Irvin's got this like multi-segmented sword that sort of extends as he swings it up to 20 feet. So he's just gonna kind of swing it back and forth to try to cleave everything.
Are
Although
you doing
cleave
the
doesn't
full
compare
extension?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So we have a cleavage and now a cleave. So the one swing is a 21 to hit,
That's a hit.
and the second swing is a 20.
Yeah.
And that will do 9 damage
Okay.
and 12 damage.
So you start swinging this 20-foot sword, and as you're swinging it, screams of the dead are erupting from the blades. Irvin, you don't notice because you're really in the moment, but everyone else, you're hearing it again. You've told Irvin like 5 times, I really think there's a bunch of damned souls stuck inside your sword, and Irvin's just swinging around. These zombies are getting like pushed around, stabbed, chopped in half, and this shake happens. You all turn. The zombies slowly turn their heads and start like lurching. That weird like Attack on Titan run. You know what I'm talking about. That one really creepy one that runs like that. They all start running like that. And this orb of energy is coming out. And as the bright light starts to fade, you look at this energy and realize, much to your dismay, oh no, that thing is pure BHT. And these zombies are diving onto it, just hungry for the freshness, the immortality it offers. As they all are diving into this BHT, it's absorbing all the remaining zombies because another person caused drama. And we watch as one arm breaks free, covered in frosted flakes. Another Cheerios. What is happening? The 2 legs break through that are Sugar Crisp, an abdomen constructed completely of corn pops, and the head, this terrifying Count Chocula head, roars out as it completely opens, and you see the BHT flowing inside it, and you're thinking to yourself, but Lucas, what does BHT look like? Nightmares. It looks like nightmares. It is liquid nightmare. And it is flowing inside this. There's too much. The freshness is beyond preserved. And this creature stomps down on the already very brittle floor that Himbonius has done a number to, and comes charging at our wizard. Himbonius, what is your AC?
My AC is 13.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right, Himbonius. This creature comes in with a
wait.
punch.
1 second. As my reaction, I'm going to use my Combat Wizard Arcane Reflection and give myself a +2 to AC, so it's a 15. I don't know if that helps.
Coming in. Your Arcane Reflection is akin to those like old detective movies where you just like, you see the punch coming, you're like, I'm just gonna take it. You're standing there and you realize, oh no, this thing's pretty big as it's running, like, you know, small far away, large close up, as it comes over, and this fist comes down and it hits right into your face, slow motion. A couple of cereal bits fly, a little bit of blood, as you take 20 points of damage. This creature roars, the cereal flying everywhere. Its body, it's composed of dry material, so it's not the most stable. Himbo Wizard, it's your turn to return the favor.
Cool. So because I used my Arcane Reflection from the War Wizard, I can only cast cantrips this turn, which is fine. Himbonius looks to the cereal creature and like kind of like palms his hand kind of like this and like holds it back, and you see this crackle of electricity coming from all the random muscle groups twitching as his hand begins to like shake, and then he like does like a quick palm fist into the chest, and casts Shocking Grasp.
Nice.
And that's going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, I deal 8 points of lightning damage, and then because I Shocking Grasp it, the cereal creature cannot take reactions until the start of its next turn. So Himbonius, having charged this creature with electricity and kind of like zapping it into place, just like walks forward and kicks off of it, and using the jump boost from the ring, just like flings off and jumps to the other side of the room.
So you go sailing backwards, and you do that classic superhero landing, you know, like one knee, one foot, fist on the ground as you look up.
It's horrible for my back, yeah, just like...
Yeah, really hard on the knees. And you look up, the creature's electrocuted, and it slowly turns its eyeless face towards you.
You thought you could stop us? You thought you could stop freshness? freshness.
But it's still electrocuted in place. It 100% was effective. And it goes to Hope.
Freshness, my ass. You're just part of a nutritious breakfast, not the whole thing. And yeah, she's gonna draw her big ass ivory handled revolver, Justice, and unleash some justice. Just hit fire 2 quick shots, banning
All
that
right.
hammer. So for that first one, that'll be a 27 to hit.
That's a hit.
And a 28 for the second shot.
Yep.
So that is a 21 plus 16. So that'll be 37 damage.
You start blasting at this creature. And yet one of its arms was starting to twitch and come down, and you completely shatter it off, cereal spilling everywhere as it turns towards you, shrieking out in rage. And it goes from Hope to Nancy.
Okay, I see Hope shooting pieces off of it, and I say, "Back to the pantry with you!" And I will cast to counteract its delicious freshness. I will cast Blight
Oh.
to destroy that.
No, my freshness.
He does get to make a Constitution saving throw against it.
See what happens. Oh, it got an 18 on the dice.
Oh, okay. Well, then it will only take half of. Let me get all this delicious damage. Half of 28, so it takes 14 necrotic damage, and it
So you start-
sucks the freshness.
You start making parts of its body stale. And that is the greatest weakness of a BHT creature. As parts of it are just falling off to the ground, liquid nightmare spilling everywhere. And the place is shaking even more now. You can feel the whole building like starting to turn like one side to the other side. And we go to Irvin the Immortal.
So Irvin points his sword towards the monster and says, "You looking like you'd be fresh to death right about now." And he takes another couple swings with his sword.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is an 18 to hit.
That's
and
a hit.
The second is a 24 to hit.
That's a hit, yeah.
Those will do 10 and 9 damage respectively.
So
And
you...
it's not quite done. So
Oh.
I'm going to use my action surge, which is a fighter ability. And you also see, so Irvin has a special armor that's made out of melted beer cans and beer bottles. So you see it glint a little, and he sort of stumbles off to the side and gets one more sort of goofy looking swing off with his sword. And now the power of his armor is that it's a guaranteed crit if he hits. But that will only be a 10 to hit, which probably misses.
You have an
didn't hit.
inspiration in the pot from
There-
someone.
That's true. I think
So
I'll
use
use
it.
that inspiration. And that's even worse. Well, it's the same as another 10.
What?
So you go the glinting, you bring your sword, you try to lift it up. It's 20 feet long. It's kind of hard. And so you try to bring it up. The creature stops it. And it's barely held together. Its cereal form is shaking. It looks at all of you.
You thought you would be successful. I am but a cornflake in the bowl. You haven't even seen the whole box yet.
And they fall backwards into this hole that was made by Himbonius when using the earth tremors. and this creature sails, and you can hear it smashing through the floor. The whole ground starts to rumble. Everyone make me dexterity saving throws as suddenly everything gives way below you.
So that would be a...
Got a nat 20.
Got 13.
I'm gonna
Got a
use
20.
my. Oh,
I
go
got a
ahead.
21.
I'm gonna use my arcane deflection to turn my 11 into a 15.
All right. Everyone who got above a 15 just takes... Oh, it's... Minimize that roll. You just take 5 points of damage. Everyone who got below gets 10 points of damage. You find yourselves falling. And you're like, the ground is completely given away because more people have caused drama. And so this entire place is just collapsing in on itself. You keep sailing down again and again. You look over and you realize that you're falling into this giant warehouse below the center. And you land on this pile of couches that were set up around a barbecue. Glancing over to your side, what do you see? You see a 1970 Dodge Charger. It's got like the frickin' engine on the hood of the car. And you look over.
This is lovely fabric.
You look over where the other creature had fallen, and it had fallen backwards and fallen into this vat, this massive vat of liquid nightmares known as BHT. This amount would make all the cereal in the world contain enough freshness, but far too much for one bag. And it starts bubbling and broiling. As these massive hands start gripping, you see that this vat is probably like 50 feet across, like in diameter. And you watch a hand that is about 50 feet in diameter rip through it. What do you all want to do?
Stop it before it escapes! We should attack.
I've got an idea. Ambonius, you're with me.
Of course.
We need a driver.
Wait. So am I driving or?
No, you're not driving. I need you to
okay.
hold something for me.
Yeah, sure. I could do that.
All right, who's driving?
So Higginbotham can take the wheel. And he's
All right,
suddenly
I
in a
want this.
little... He's in a little, the Stig outfit. A little white, like, racing outfit.
But I'm going to need to sit on someone's lap, unfortunately, because I am still just a frog.
Of course, yeah. And I will sit with good Sir Higginbotham. My dress is filling the entire front seat of the car.
Irvin the Immortal, what would you like to do? You can be on top of the car if you want to swing a sword. Like, anything you want to do. Rule of Cool is full.
I guess. How close is the monster?
The monster is probably about like 40 feet away. It's like this vat, like an arm is starting to emerge out of it.
I guess if we get close enough, I'll kind of be hanging out the window to try to swing at it.
Okay. So you have this 20-foot fucking sword hanging out the window. You have incredible endurance in your arms. Like, it's unreal that you can hold something like that. This car starts up. Sir Higgum... I cannot get this name. I got it right here. Higginbotham grabs onto the wheel, making sure, keeping their hands at the appropriate spots. And they're like, righto, let's go. And you press down on the gas. All of you just start hitting it. And you like start going towards this creature as the arm is coming upwards. And what are you all doing?
All right, Himbonius, I need you to climb onto the hood. And
All right.
Hope starts climbing out onto the back. And she's holding pea shooter in her arms and getting prepared.
Okay. Himbonius steps out onto the hood.
Higginbotham, you go straight for it, all right?
Yes.
And
okay.
Irvin, we're gonna need you to cut your way through. So otherwise we're gonna smash right into it.
I'm on it.
All right, I need checks from everyone here. So you're in this car, you're prepping up. I'm going to need some kind of acrobatics from Himbonius because you are like surfing on the roof or on the car. I'm going to need an attack roll from our Irvin the Immortal. I need, let's see, some kind of like tech roll or like a item kit or something like that from Hope Chubbins. You're getting a lot set up. And from Nancy, I am going to need you to roll me. I don't know what to do for driving a car. So just roll me like an intelligence.
Yeah.
You're using your brain smarts.
Big brain smarts. Not bad.
Oh my god, we crushed the fucking goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Woo! And we still have a whole nother game after this that y'all can sit and watch. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. So you're going. This car is ripping through there, 1/4 mile at a time. You feel yourself getting pulled. I need everyone to tell me what they got for their rolls.
So, got an 8, but
Nice.
Is there an inspiration in the pool?
Do we have an inspiration?
Maybe since Jason just redeemed one.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
I was
Alright.
replacing the one I used.
And there's about
Alright.
to be an item that's also going to come in that is going to help you.
Awesome. So if I get an advantage from the inspiration, instead of an 8, it is a 22.
All right. Hope Chubbins.
That would be a 19.
Nice. Nancy.
Well, I'm from a fantasy land, so I don't know what a car is.
Cars are
I
hard.
had rolled a 10, but I have an item that is a lucky rabbit's foot that lets me add a d10 to a roll, and I just rolled max, so it's dirty 20 for my
All right.
car driving roll. Born
Naturally,
for this.
half of driving cars is just luck. So you're just really funneling it in. And Irvin.
I got a 23 to hit.
So you are all just gunning it. You're going through there. You're setting this up. You have Pea Shooter, and Pea Shooter's really excited and says,
Hey, I found something. Maybe you can use it. Here. It's a spoon. It shoots lasers. Fire this thing.
Well,
So I'll say, because we're in rule of cool, you can hook that into that gun.
oh sweet, I was going to use my electro bullet, but yeah. So, what Hope is currently doing is unfolding Bee Shooter, and like as she's unfolding it, it becomes very clear that several like bags of holding have been implemented into Pea Shooter to conceal significant larger pieces, and it's rapidly folding out and expanding and starting to appear like a mix between a punt gun and a howitzer. She shouts up to Himbonius, "All right, Himbonius, prepare to brace."
So just as you're getting ready to fire this gun, the suddenly ripping out of the ground, because we have like 2 more dramas that are coming, ripping out of the ground is suddenly the other arm, and then pulling itself up. You see this massive leviathan, this giant hulking titan, shattering through the moon. You thankfully, Irvin, the whole car gets spun out, but thankfully you're able, Higginbotham has hands on the wheel, keeping it going. You see, oh no, you're gonna hit into the wall. You swing your sword and cut through the moon, cutting open this hole, and the car goes flying. You all look as this Titan is smashing out of this moon, screaming and roaring. And this is the tale of how the third moon was destroyed in the world. You sail into space. But the car, you're like, it can't work. Last time we were in the air and we tried turning, nothing happened. And you turn the wheel, and the car turns. My God, you can fly this car in space. So you're going. You see, all of a sudden, this button, there's like this little thing there. It's the NOS button. I don't know. That's how it works. So it's there, a couple switches you gotta flick, and you watch as now this Titan has emerged from these broken pieces of the moon. They're sailing around. Spaceships are ripping through out of here. The car, the engine roars. Hembonius, you have this massive gun. You're flexing, holding it up. Irvin, you are smashing asteroids away. I need everyone to make me another roll.
Any specific role or
The same thing.
We're gonna go with what would you like to do to try to help this situation?
I'm gonna keep driving. I want to do like a sick drift, and there's no ground, but it's gonna like screech and
Like a
throw
Tokyo
sparks.
drift?
Yeah. And I rolled that same intelligence roll, and I got a 17.
All right.
Drive the car.
I'm gonna athletics to like hold the gun in place perfectly. Just
Okay.
like with complete muscle control, I open my third eye.
picturing like a chokehold, like just really getting in there with it.
Just like, like I turn into part of the scope. I do a pillar man pose. Yeah, that's an 18.
So you got this.
Don't bend the barrel.
Sorry, I don't know my own strength sometimes. I
The
slowly
strain
tilt
of
it back
metal.
in place.
Glorious.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out exactly how to put a spoon in place of a bullet.
It's Magitech, so you just put it on in, and it like shapes and forms and molds into a spoon bullet.
That makes it easy. I guess I don't have to roll for that because I rolled really well.
So we'll say you're putting it in there. You're getting it all set up. You feel that suddenly that there's little pads that appear on this gun, and it's showing you the laser levels, and the laser levels are just skyrocketing out, and it's like pretty sweet laser, cool laser. Oh no, we might mess some shit up, and space laser, and you're just skyrocketing to space laser.
It would seem that all laser levels are through the roof.
Irvin the Immortal.
I've actually got a bunch of hand axes on my belt, so I'm just going to start throwing axes out the window at everything.
You're hitting asteroids with axes.
Yeah.
All right, roll me that hit.
A 13.
So you hurl this axe, and this is just how space works. It's like, I learned this. If you're just in space, you have a gun, you fire your gun, it's gonna push you away. So you throw the axe, hits the asteroid, makes the asteroid move. You're just hurling these axes left, right, and center. Some asteroids are just blowing up because that's what happens in space. And they're going flying, people are screaming. You have spaceships that are ripping by you. There's one that's like a group that's like, oh no, there's still some middle management that made it out alive. And one of the asteroids that you hit, it like spins and turns and clips into this, which then it spirals, and the Titan grabs it, crushing it, absorbing it into its body. This Titan, it looks over at all of you. This energy is flowing around it. You can hear this being.
You have awoken that which has always been. BHT, the nightmare fuel. We will consume all. All is cereal.
and it just echoes through space, and you can hear it. I know they're supposed to be like, there's really a bunch of sound in space. This is like Captain Harlock. The flag is going and everything. Doesn't matter. You're just going and drifting through space. The gun is starting to align, and now you're hitting that gas, and you're starting to go towards this creature, this Titan. As it's glancing over and it's grabbing asteroids, and now it starts throwing. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter into a skill challenge. This is going to be a 3-parter. So for those of you who are like, what's a skill challenge? I'm glad you asked. So a skill challenge is when we have like, basically we set it up into like, you need to have a certain amount of successes, a certain amount of failures to beat each tier. You want to make it to the end tier to complete to see what happens. So for instance, we have the first tier that goes, the DC is going to be 13. So you have to roll at least a 13. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be doing anything. You could be at the top of a real, like, particular set of these steel beams and throwing barrels down. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, that DC for it is 13. And if you get a certain amount of successes and pass, something good happens. You move up to the next tier and the story progresses. You keep failing, something really terrible happens. So it's just a way to do really big cinematic cool stuff without having to sit there and pour through a bunch of books, because the rule of cool has taken the wheel. All right, I need initiative one last time from all of you.
One last time. It's a 9.
Oh shit.
The 10 for me.
That would be a 6.
Initiative is not this team's strong suit. 19. Excuse me. We start off with Himbonius. So the DC is 13. You need 3 successes to get through, or 3 failures to have something really terrible happen.
Okay, so it's this like Titan thing. We're like flying down car style. Like I'm on top. I'm still holding the gun, right?
Yeah, but you got a free hand. You know?
Okay, yeah, no, I was just checking because I didn't want to mess up the shot, you know?
You'll be good. You have like perfect muscle control.
Of course, that was the general conceit of my character. I am going to... well, I guess this'll... This is really cool, right? So let's try it.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Okay.
But I'm going to have like a big stone hand that mimics my own just like pop out of the side of the car, so that it like if it looks like we're gonna hit something, I can like grab onto stuff and like use the momentum to move us around.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you want me to roll like an Arcana check for like casting the spell under pressure.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
DC 13.
Excellent. That's a 6.
All right, you cast this spell, and unfortunately, Nancy was not expecting a massive hand to come out and start, and so the hand does come out of the car. You cast the spell, but like it grabs one of the asteroids and like quickly twists, and Nancy and Higginbotham are like, whoa! And Higginbotham goes and he falls down into the floor of the car. Oh no, I don't believe I could reach the steering wheel from here. Nancy, take the wheel!
Oh no!
And we go to Nancy.
Oh, I take the wheel. Oh no, he's lost amid all the tulle of my dress. Since we're doing rule of cool, and I'm trying to, like, this super took us off track. We were on the perfect trajectory. Again, does this make sense? No. I want to cast grease in front of us so it makes us go faster through space.
Space grease. Yeah,
Space
you
grease.
also have the jar of colorless grease, so either way.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, maybe
Double
that'll
grease
give
it.
us. Yeah, let's double grease it. I'll
Double grease it. Grease lightning. That's
yeah.
how it works.
Yes, we're doing grease lightning here. So I don't even know what to
Grease
roll
on
for that.
grease.
I say either. Just Arcana. You know, we'll go with Arcana.
Yeah. We'll just go with that. That's a 14.
So you hurl this grease out of the front of the car, and you just like also cast this quick magic blast, shattering the container, the grease coating a path through space. And you're thinking to yourself, but Lucas, that's not how space works. It is now. So now you're sailing through the grease in space, you're going even faster because there was already not much traction at all, but now you have just negative traction. You're just barreling through there. Space doesn't understand what's happening. Then again, it didn't expect a serial titan, so, things happen. So that is a success, and we go to Irvin.
Does Himbonius still have like the jetpack equipped in some way, or is it just kind of sitting somewhere?
It is attached to one of my my hip almost. But if you
Okay.
want to like unclasp and use it, you can.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
climb up there if you want.
I'm gonna snatch the jetpack and jump out the window opposite the hand, and
Mhm.
like use the jetpack power to try and help steer the car too.
That makes sense. That's how cars work, so I'm okay with this.
So are we good? Can we call that an acrobatics or?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Acrobatics or
Okay.
athletics?
That's a 23.
So you do just that. You have it set up. And what does this look like? Like, are you still holding on to the sword as well, and you have this jetpack, or?
No, the sword is sort of like strapped to my back, but not extended.
Okay, so it's like Cloud Strife style, just like the sword in your back, and
Yeah,
you're
so
holding
Irvin
on.
Kind of jumps out the window, like, I'm doing this for my family. He sheds a single tear.
It's people all over the universe just nodding. All right, so you are holding on. You have this going. You have the jetpack flying. You have 2 successes now. You only need 1 more success to go to the next tier. You are using the power of family. It feels like Olive Garden inside this car. You are just flying through space. And the jetpack, you're steering this car, getting everything ready. We go to Hope Chubbins. You're
Was
muted.
muted. There was a cop driving by. Yeah, Hope is still getting a shooter ready. These lasers are still charging. She's not used to lasers. She doesn't normally work with laser spoons. So it's taking her a moment longer. Like while she's doing that, she looks up at this Titan and she points at it and shouts, "All right, listen up, you little shit. If you put one goddamn scratch in this fucking 1976 Dodge Charger, like the fucking supercharged engine, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed off at you." And yeah, she's trying to intimidate it into like not throwing
That's fair.
these asteroids as well.
Okay.
So that would be a 18.
So you are yelling at this Titan, and it was about to throw an asteroid, and it starts thinking about the cultural significance of the 1976 Dodge Charger and how much that it has changed today's society. And it looks at the asteroid in its hand, and it glances out towards the stars. Is this the right thing to do? Should it destroy this car? Perhaps there's another way. It can consume the car. It can become the car. And it crushes the asteroid in its hand and starts like moving its arms backwards, and you watch the hands start extending like they're almost becoming like webs.
Here's what I thought.
And now
It's
the DC
vintage.
the DC is 14, but you only need 2 successes or 2 failures. You are driving forward, the jetpack is humming along, the arm is grabbing things, the Titan is reconsidering life options, and Nancy's got the wheel. Alright, we go with Himbonius. And don't worry about concentration, you just cast whatever.
Alright, so seeing my big stone hand not working, I release it, letting go of that specific muscle group. And oh god, there's only one thing I can do. is there any piece of debris nearby that I can grab?
There's a whole moon.
All
Yeah,
right, there's
you got
chunks
pieces of the
moon.
space station. You got like
I wanted to
broken
know if there was
vehicles.
like weird special debris, but I guess I will grab another printer that's floating nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And I will once again like load up all of the specific muscle flexing that is required to cast the spell Catapult and fling it at the monster to like break a hole into it or like reduce its structural integrity or something like that.
You charge up this catapult, and you're building it up in your arm. You feel this Nostradamus Corporation printer start rattling in your hands as you're propelling it forward. And roll me a ranged attack, or I guess a spell attack.
Yeah.
Well, name Bonius, just think about all the middle managers in there.
Oh, I hate it. So like, as soon as you say middle manager, I go, oh my god, that's the worst, and I just fling it forward with an 18.
And this goes catapulting towards one of its hands that was like starting to form out into these webbings. You hit right through the center of the hand, bursting through the other end. Cereal going everywhere. The BHT, the nightmare fluid, drifting into space, hoping to preserve something else out there in the dark depths. And this printer, of course, just pieces of it sailing through the other side. And you feel your muscles start to release. That was a good shot. So we got one success. We need one more. Can you bring it home, Nancy?
Gonna try. So I am I'm a swamp sorceress, but I've never been proud of my heritage. But I hear Jason's character, his name I can't remember, Ervin, talking about the family, and I'm like, you're right. I need to be proud of my swamp heritage. So I pull out my wondrous item, which is called the Pipes of the Swamp. And with all of my might, I'm going to play them. And as everyone knows, space is full of frogs, and I'm going to summon a swarm of cosmic frogs.
Right. I know exactly. All right.
Yeah. So I guess that's Arcana or Performance.
Whichever you feel better with.
Okay. Absolutely. That is 12 plus 8 for a dirty 20.
You start playing these flutes, and just out of nowhere, all these space frogs start coming in. They all have little space helmets, like it's like the little glass container that's around them, and it's got two little dealy boppers sticking off it. And these frogs are sailing through space, swarms of them. They all start going and attacking this large cereal titan, distracting it. It didn't know that space frogs were this far out, but of course they are. They're everywhere. And so it's swatting at these space frogs. It's got this painful hole in its hand. This BHT is leaking out into space, preserving frogs into perfect freshness. And it's just swinging at all of them. And we now go into the final part of this. It's DC 15, 2 successes or 2 failures. It's the last moment before we take that sweet, sweet shot. All right, we go from Nancy to Irvin.
So we're just hurtling through in this car. There's a bunch of space frogs.
Yeah.
What's the
Printer
Titan
went
do?
sailing.
What's up with the Titan right now? Is it...
It's doing that really slow thing where it's like trying to like swat away all these space frogs. You see tendrils of it are coming off and like grabbing at the space frogs and absorbing them into them, trying to come up with a new frog-based cereal. As it's just grabbing all these things around it.
I'm gonna try to like push off from the car with the jetpack and throw my last hand axe at the Titan.
Nice. All right. Was that movie Gravity? We're gonna hear a lot of like Irvin's breathing, sailing through space.
And that's a crit miss.
You launch yourself off this car, sailing towards the Titan. Hand axe. You're pulling it back. You're about to throw it. The rest of you are looking over like, no, wait, Irvin! As you watch, and this piece of space debris just slaps into Irvin, like causing him to go sailing up to the other side. He's not dead. You do take 10 points of damage, but you're like now holding onto this piece of space debris and the hand axe in your other hand.
Oh, what was I thinking?
From Irvin, it goes to Hope Chubbins.
So, yeah, I'm thinking that I want to speed this car up in order to add momentum to our laser. You know, that's a very important thing to do.
Yeah, of course. That's how lasers work.
Get that laser beyond the speed of light. So, what she does is she reaches down into her pocket of her really sweet pea coat and pulls out a bag of gunpowder. She looks up at the front to the scoop on the hood, to those air intakes. She just takes aim and reels back and pucks it, aiming to get this gunpowder into the air intakes in order to supercharge us.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
That will be a 23.
So you put that gunpowder in, flames rip out of the front of the car. A little close to Himbonius. It's a little toasty up there.
It looks thick, and it's making like all that muscle grease shine.
And you're driving with class. So you have one success, one failure. This can go any way. Himbonius, it is in your hands.
Ooh, okay. I think as the car is like kind of rocketing through and like everything starts to slow down, Himbonius is gonna like focus in and like put all of his energy into the one thing he knows how to do best, and it's flexing. So he is going to like look over to the engine and, using his analytical wizard brain, just like notice all the parts that are just not going at peak capacity after tearing off the hood, and just punches each of those parts into place at high speed so that they all go faster and the car just like goes into its maximum overdrive. And I'm going to try to use athletics for that. Okay, 22.
Oh my god. So maximum speed was the goal.
Yeah.
And maximum speed's been attained. There is a shimmer around this vehicle, and you feel it in you. You feel the power.
If I may.
Family.
If I may. And this is what it looks like to go even further beyond.
You're driving forward in space over the space grease. The odd space frog is hitting the windshield. You're just rocketing forward. Irvin, the car, it does this sweet drift. You find yourself like hurtling off of space debris, grabbing on because they need the maximum power in order to achieve it. You're holding on to the side of the car. You're looking at Himbonius, who looks over at you. The curt nod happens as you feel yourselves going even faster. And it's like the light is starting to bend around the vehicle, and you're thinking, there's nothing more than this, and you hear, oh, but there is. And Higginbotham jumps, slapping down onto the NOS button. Flames erupt out of the back of the car. Space has broken. You are going forward. There is no more speed than this. And we go to Hope Chubbins pulling that trigger. You're muted.
Keep doing that. Cops keep driving by. Fucking space cops. I'm going to use all of my grit points right now. One for Deadeye, so that I get advantage on this. And then 3 for violent shot, which for each one adds another damage die to the pea shooter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and roll this.
It is time.
So that would be a 22 math
That's a hit.
for my hit. Actually, real quick, I'm going to spend another luck point just to see if I can get a net
critical
20 on it. No, I didn't. But a girl can dream. And are we currently using the power of family here?
Family is pouring through this vehicle. All of you are making eye contact at the exact same time. It's not possible, but you're doing it.
So, for the viewers out there, the damage die for the pea shooter is a D100 with vicious shot that will make it for D100.
Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Oh. So, let's
The range on this
Count-
is amazing.
count it out
4
for
to
me.
400.
55.
All right.
Somebody do math for me. 55.
Okay.
Okay.
45.
Okay.
Yeah, 100.
82.
182.
Okay.
And a 35.
217.
And then we'll also add my 4 for my dex. And then whatever bonus laser damage. But real quick, before Hope pulls the trigger, she calls out to the Titan. She says, "You know why we call this the pea shooter? For every goddamn time I fire it, everyone pisses themselves. Now it's time to make you soggy."
No!
So what is the total damage we have here that you have so far?
Well, that's why I was having you add it up.
I thought someone else did it. All right.
I
Now I got it
to
written down
21.
here.
Two
I
yeah.
don't know if there was the bonus
55,
laser damage or not.
45.
Okay.
That's 100. Plus
Yeah,
82,
I got it.
182 plus 35
So
Yeah,
you
217.
okay?
plus
So
4.
you were 221. So you're
221.
charging this up. The laser is going. It went past space laser to supreme extreme laser, and you pull that trigger, and it's firing so far forward. This blast sails through space. It cuts a hole through time. The Titan looks as the laser just keeps growing larger and larger. And suddenly, it blasts right through, cleaving the Titan. It takes out the head, the heart of the BHT. The BHT leaks into the multiverse. You watch as the bits of it go sailing off into the black void of the far realms. But science was at play here. You fired a gun so powerful that it ended up doing 442 damage, destroying the Titan. But you were using beyond speed, and now it's firing forward but backwards. It was too much. What's the one last thing you each say as you realize this 1976 Dodge Charger is about to become basically space debris along with you?
I look around at everyone and I say, well, that was one hell of a BHT trip.
I nod and I pat good Sir Higginbotham and I pop our favorite tape into the tape player, and it starts playing I Had the Time of My Life.
Hope she wipes a tear away, and looks back at Loch Rialta and points to it and says, "We are dying, so you could live, Tugboat." Or miss you, bud.
And Himbonius, all muscles now relaxed out of like deep mourning, like feels that time is too much and the car is starting to like fracture and fall apart because we're going too fast.
Mhm.
And I look over at everyone. No, this isn't right. Family is stronger than this. Family is stronger than time itself. And I cast haste on the car to make it go even faster.
And you do so. And the car does go faster. And it causes an even larger explosion. And the four of you just sailing through space, not sure how you're breathing. You're entering into the atmosphere, flames licking around you. You're falling from the sky. And you see yourselves, you're coming back down to the Foundry of Steel. This is the end. This is the end for the Notable Individuals. Smashing into the ground. The last of the life leaves each of you. It causes a crater of where that town was. The cereal bar is no more. Everything is gone. And a very frustrated Tugboat is standing on the crater of this town, realizing that they are 15 minutes late. And they look at everything and they're like, and they march forward to go collect the corpses of their friends to bring them back for another day. Thank you all, everyone, for joining us for this family adventure. There was so much going on and so much drama. Thank you to the individual who caused that last caused drama as we were pulling the trigger of the gun. Really added to the moment. We crushed our goal, so we're gonna have to fix that up and raise that for the next show. Absolutely blows my mind. Thank you everyone who came out here. You've donated to such a great cause, and you've helped us make such a wonderful story. I hope you all enjoyed this really weird tale of fighting cereal, and more importantly, BHT in space. You only need a little bit to preserve freshness. So I'll let everyone, we'll just go around the table and say where you can find us. And then we'll wrap this up. So I have been your GM, Lucas. I run Ballad of the Seven Dice. I run the Twitter. We have another podcast. We also have a Rise of Nyarlathotep Twitch stream that we do every Tuesday. If you've enjoyed the really weird stories and explosions and fun characters and this lovely crew, you can find them over on Rise of Nyarlathotep Tuesday, 6:30 CST. And remember, we have another game at 4:30, a supernatural doctor drama. It's a game that I created called Just Doctor Work, and we have a bunch of lovely guests, but I'll talk about that just as we're wrapping this up. Let me go over to Ian. Where can we find you?
Hey everybody. For those of you in EST, 4:30 is around an hour and a half from now. So you have some time to, get a snack, go to the restroom, prepare yourself. You can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente, where I'm mostly like hyping up a lot of other podcasts if I get the chance, and then also providing not much except for like repping this show and the other podcast that I DM'd a mini campaign for, the Are We Dead Yet podcast, which I am the DM for, and it is a mini campaign based around fantasy wrestling. There's merchandise, there's steel chairs, there's talking animals that are plotting to overthrow the powers that be. It's a really good time. They release episodes basically twice a month, so you get one on the 1st, one on the 15th. Next one is coming out on the 15th of July, which is next Thursday. You can look forward to that. I'm also playing Weary on the Rise of Nyarlathotep campaign, so you can watch that on Twitch and watch Weary consistently have a lot of anxiety. So that'll be a fun time for everyone involved. But yeah.
Awesome. Jess.
Yes, I'm Jess. I do not have a Twitter. I do have an art Instagram. It's art_fantastical. I mostly just post memes and D&D art, but if that's your thing, come by, leave me a follow. I also play on the Rise of Nyarlathotep stream on Tuesdays. I play Glyph, the android rogue, who may have instigated a very, very huge and bad boss fight that will happen in the next session. So please tune in to watch everything go wrong, and it's going to be great. And that's Tuesdays at 6:30 CST.
Eve.
Hello, you can find me over at Copper Harpy on the Twitter. That is copper as in the metal, harpy as in the bird monster. Other than that, I am playing TK37, the goblin with telekinetic powers and amnesia on Rise of Nyarlathotep. Which, yes, everybody else has already said the time. So I'll say it again. Tuesday, it's 6:30 CST. That way you don't forget. That's about it.
Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason_42 here and on Twitter. I recommend you join the Ballad Discord. That's where I do most of my communication about the show and stuff and most of my thoughts. Aside from that, highly recommend that show happening in about an hour and a half. It's going to be a lot of fun. Doctor work always gets really out of hand really fast, so I'm sure it's going to be a blast. And I also play Kratok on Rise of Nyarlathotep and Drax here in the Ballad of the Chosen Few podcast. Check those out. The stories intertwine a bit, and it gets pretty interesting.
Thank you, everyone, for coming by. And like we said many times, our Rise of Nyarlathotep, we have on the Ballad of the Seven Dice website, there are recaps that you can just read through quick so you can hop into the story and know what's going on. So don't worry if you're like, but you're already this far in. You can hop in and catch up fast. We have reached the goal of 360 Canadian, and we're aiming for 250, so crushed it. Thank you so much. We're going to be up in that goal for the next game. So 4:30 CST. So that's in an hour and a half's time. Going to be going down. Check out our lovely supernatural Doctor drama. Thanks again, everyone. You're all fantastic. Thanks for coming on by and supporting a great cause.